Hey fellow tankers, Tonester here again today with another replay for you in the Super Pershing. We're on Lakeville today, we're mid-tier, and let's get the replay started and we'll talk a little bit about why I go where I go. Generally, I kind of go middle to get shots if I can to start the game. Sometimes town is a good place. You know, you do have some armor, but in a tier 9 game, lower plate, as I've said before, is weak. So anyway, we're going to go to the middle and see if we can get shots here. And luckily, someone does get spotted. And so let's get into first person view here. But unfortunately, RNG does not bless us, and then I make a stupid move here. I shoot the side of the Yak Panzer 88, but or Yak Tiger 88. So anyway, I'm seeing that we have a fair amount going town, and so I've decided that that's where I'm going to go as well. So in order to do that, you need to go all the way to the back of the map, otherwise you'll get spotted, and in the Super Pershing, the side armor is trash. So, of course, it's going to take a little bit of time. Let's fast forward a little bit. Watch us kind of head into town. So this is the route I like to take, and we'll slow it back down here because things are... So we have an 1390 in the middle, so that I know I can cut it a little short. And I see our low is taking some damage, so I would like to help him. I have loaded premium rounds here only because I don't feel like I can pen that WZ1114 without premium rounds. And there's also a Chrysler there, and so... So if you notice where I'm sitting, I've got a bush between me and the enemy, so I'm just waiting for good shots, basically, because I don't want to fire and possibly get lit without having decent shots. And I miss a shot on that Pershing, but I'd really like to get that Chrysler out. So standard rounds there would have penned, but nevertheless... I don't mind firing a little gold out of this thing. 190 pen is just really kind of low these days, so with all the heavily armored tanks. And you notice we've got a Type 4 heavy going through the valley. That's just an awful idea, and you're going to see him get worked, basically. So we are able to hit the Pershing, just kind of looking for shots, and I do switch back to standard rounds, and I'm able to retrack him here, and that's going to spell his demise. So we're outnumbered in the town, which is part of the reason I'm being quite cautious here. But I see that low is dead here up in front of me, and so I'm thinking I can use him for cover, because if I can cover my lower plate, I'm pretty good. I do stop out here and take a shot at the Centurion, which is kind of a poor idea, really, but for some reason he's not firing back at me, so I'm okay with that. So I keep thinking this 1114 is going to come popping out, but no such luck. So we're just trying to work into a position where we feel like we're comfortable. And if you see here, my lower plate is covered, and where it's not covered, if that 1114 pops out, it's very angled. So I know now that the E50 has the small gun. I cannot pin his lower plate, I don't believe, at that angle without using gold rounds. So we take a snapshot, which is fine, but he doesn't have the pen for me either unless he's hitting weak spots, so I'm happy with that. We're up to 1,000 damage though, and we're just playing patiently. So I see these guys in the middle, and I'd like to get a shot on them, but I'm just kind of too slow. I'm using standard rounds again, and I just hope Artie can defend themselves, because really there's not much I can do to help them out. So you see our Type 4 is just getting pummeled by Artie. all they have to do is relocate and shoot him from stealth, and he is done. So I see the 1114 backing off. I do know the E50's out there. I'm not afraid of the E50 because he's got 240 alpha, and he didn't appear to know where to hit me. And so I'm okay. And the game's close right now. So the one thing that Type 4 is doing is distracting the enemy. So I didn't know it, but here I put a shot into the Tiger, and he is ammo racked, and I didn't know that. So the T-54E1 is able to clip him out, which is great. And now we've got to kind of head towards their cap and take advantage of that FCM while he's still alive, basically, and try and get shots on the 1114. Because I feel like he's the most dangerous tank. He's mobile. He's got a great gun. I don't know how good a player is because I don't run XVM, but he seemed to have taken really good positions. So, and the tortoise is looking at me, and that's not something I want to fight. So I'm going to go ahead and back off and see if I can get shots on the 1114. And it appears that the tortoise has turned, and he has, but I don't want to take a snapshot on him. I see this 1114 has really pushed up a long ways, and he's completely ignoring me. Now, having gold loaded here was really good because it gave me the shell velocity to pin that guy. And so that's a good thing. So we're up to 1,700 damage and 400 spotting in a tier 9 game. That's respectable already. And I see the T-54E1 on our team. He's playing really safe, which is fine. He's got, I think, less than 100 health left. And so I don't blame him a bit. And we're able to light Artie. I see that the E50 is lit and one of the Arties, so probably the other Artie is in the same location is my guess. So I'm pushing forward because I want damage. I love killing Artie. I'm not a big fan of Artie. But anyway, so we get a shot into that tank, and for whatever reason, instead of going around behind the building, that gentleman decides he's going to sit next to it. So it does look like I can pen the lower plate straight on, so I do. And I'm invited to a platoon, you know, because we both have at least 3 kills, and we're going to survive the battle. So that's basically the end of the replay. It's just kind of a lesson in playing patient, you know. You don't always have to be the frontline guy. You can always be a support tank when in cases where you're a little bit worried that the enemy team has guns that can penetrate you, even if you have armor. Because tanks that have armor rely on that because they're too slow in most cases. So if you can't use your armor reliably, get in a position where you can use it to some extent, and stay as safe as you can while getting free shots. And that's what we did in this game. So let's go take a look at the post-game stats. Okay, here we are at the post-game stats. As you see, I got a mastery badge here for this game and a few medals, and I ended up with a Leva Slyos medal. I still don't know how to pronounce that, but to destroy 2 tank destroyers in a medium tank, they have to be a tier higher. Pascucci's because I did get both Arties, and then I got a Brothers in Arms because we were able to create that impromptu platoon. So we did a fair amount of damage, and we did a lot of module damage, which is fairly important when you're playing. Usually my module damage is tracking because this gun is not very, it's not a high caliber, so you end up with a lot of tracking. But anyway, nevertheless, we ended up with 2,770 damage, 5 kills, 1256 base XP. And then this T54E1, he did some work. 4,600 damage in a T54E1 is really good. That thing doesn't have very good pen. So after the game, we chatted a little bit, and I told him I was going to put this up on YouTube. And if he does, in fact, put his results up, I may show his game as well. So in the end, I don't have a premium account. I did do a little damage to the allies. That was my bad. But I spent a ton in ammo because I used a lot of premium ammo. Without this personal missions payout that's going on right now, I would have made 5,000 credits. But again, in the Super Pershing, I'm not really out to be a money maker. In some cases, I can be if I'm top tier, but in this case, I'm fine with only 10,000 credits. I only blocked 560 by armor. Nobody was shooting at me, so that happens basically. But we had 19 shots, 13 pens, and yeah, it was a great game. I was really happy with that game, and that was my double, so I got 2,900 XP. Plus 124 free XP. So I hope you enjoyed the replay. If you'd like to see more games, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the like button.